In this video, we're going to talk about how attachment and aversion influence our process of finding inner peace, stepping out of stress and survival mode, stepping out of emergency mode and anxiety mode throughout the day, and stepping into the present moment and living from our heart and from a state of creation. When we do step into the present moment and live from our heart, our intentions, the positive thoughts about the future, they carry so much more effect in the quantum field, allowing those intentions to manifest much faster than if we were to struggle throughout the day through our negative emotions and our stress and our anxiety. So hopefully through this video you gain another tool, another piece of understanding that will help you in your process of manifesting whatever goals that you have, whether they be to heal, to become more abundant, to find love. We wish you the best in that journey. So let's talk about attachment and aversion. Let's start with what most people are attached to the most. It is their identity, their life, who they think they are. And this attachment, and any attachment, creates a process of maintenance, because if we have an attachment to something, we're going to want to try to keep it the same and keep it in our lives in the way that we think it is in our lives. And so, for example, if someone who's a stranger thinks that we cut them off in traffic and they're upset with us, and we're attached to the idea of being a good person, and now this person in the car behind us is honking at us as if we're a bad person, well, then our heart might start racing and we might start feeling badly. And so you can see that attachment, it doesn't work well in the changing situations, the dynamic lifestyle that we all live in, the ever-changing present moment. Any attachment or aversion is going to hold us back. It's going to hold us back because carrying attachment and aversions, it's like trying to carry a big bag of rocks in a rapidly changing environment where we have to jump and dodge and slide, where we want to be agile. And attachment and aversion is not about agility, it's not about the future, it's about the past. If attachment is the things that we want to keep, and aversion is the things that we really don't want, the things that we want to stay away from, then that process is oftentimes very much defined by our past experiences. If something was good in the past, well then, we want more of it. If something was hurtful in the past, well then, we probably want to stay away from it. And so if we have poor relationship experiences with the opposite gender, then we might become averse to people of that gender. Or if we have poor experiences in a country when we go visit, then we might say, oh, we really don't like that country. And over time, all of these likes and dislikes become a part of our identity, a part of our ego, and who we perceive ourselves to be. Oh, that's Jerry. He loves pizza, but he doesn't like salad. He loves to travel to Asia, but he really doesn't like to go to Europe. He loves to play football, and he loves comedy, but he really doesn't like documentaries. And so the things that we like and dislike become not only part of our self-image, how we view ourselves, they become a part of our social image, how other people know us. They get us gifts based on what we like and don't like, often. And so our likes and dislikes, they become reinforced. And they reflect back to us in the external world. And therefore they get revalidated, and we become more stuck in the past. And so, like, have you ever changed and someone got you a gift that was not equal to who you were anymore, and so they got you a gift that maybe you would have liked 5 years ago, but now when you look at that old self and you look at that gift, you're like, ooh, I don't want that. But I'm sure you were very kind and gracious. So our attachments and aversions are frequently changing as our identity changes. And a majority of the time we're not aware of how much of this is going on. And if we are aware of what of it changing, we're not aware of actually how much power we have to influence this process. Like, for example, there's lots of people out there that really don't like certain foods. And if you, for example, I knew a person, better not to go into that. So many times it's the past experiences that we project onto things that determine how we feel about those things. And when you look at the past experience, when you focus in on it from a more neutral vantage point, you find that that past experience and the emotion attached to it was based on a misinterpretation, or something that wasn't useful to apply to all future situations. Like, for example, let's say someone really doesn't like sushi, an aversion. They have an aversion to sushi. And if you look at their experience, their very first experience of sushi may have been at a restaurant where, for whatever reason, that day, the sushi was not fresh. Maybe it was spoiled. Or maybe someone was yelling at them in the restaurant, maybe a parent, as they were eating the sushi. And that gets lodged in their subconscious mind, and they don't know why, they just don't like sushi. They don't like the taste, they don't like the smell. It's easy to find something we don't like about things. Now, the thing about attachments and aversions is that they play a really big role in our capacity, or incapacity, rather, to be present. Because as long as we have attachments and aversions, we're going to be trying to hold on to stuff. And we're going to be trying to stay away from stuff. And guess what that generates? Lots of thoughts. And lots of thoughts do not help us go into that space and be present and be heartfelt. If your brain is a record of the past, then your thoughts are just ripple effects from the past or recordings of the past. And so, if we're thinking a lot, we're thinking about how do we get more of what we want, things we're attached to. When am I going to go get my coffee? What am I going to have for dinner? What am I going to do for fun this weekend? Or we're thinking about things that we're averse to. Like, for example, I really don't want to go to that event. Or, I really don't want to run out of money, so I gotta do work. What do I have to do for work today? Or, I gotta make sure I don't forget to do something important. And so we think about all the things that we supposedly have to do. And if you take any thought whatsoever, you can probably find an attachment or an aversion that's driving it. And if you release the attachment and aversion, you release the thought, and all of a sudden, there's less between you and the present moment. And all of a sudden, there's one less piece of your past that's no longer playing a role in your intention to live in the present. Now here's the kicker. If you've seen some of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, then you may have heard him talk about how stress and survival mode causes us to be materialists, identified with our body as if that's all we are, and attempting to keep it alive. So naturally, what we see as good is stuff that helps us survive. What we see as bad is stuff that we perceive to be dangerous. The thing is that if we're living that life based on that value system, a survival mindset, then how good can our life really be? It will always be limited by however good a stress and survival mindset supported life can be. And I questioned whether a life lived from the survival mindset can really be as good as a life lived from some other states of being. I perceived that there could be some ceilings on the limit, on the quality of life that we can achieve from a value system that is based on survival. And I perceived that for a long time, that the ceiling can be a glass ceiling, meaning it's invisible, meaning many people can unconsciously go about their day operating from the survival mindset, going from happy to sad to angry to afraid, not recognizing that there's another way. And not until we get a break from our fear, not until we get enough experience saying, hey, maybe the stress I feel, the fear I feel, maybe it's not real. It's not until we get enough experience and help and guidance to get to the point where we can put some space between us and what we fear that we're able to finally get some room to question the projections, question the illusion of fear and of stress and of survival, and say, maybe it doesn't have to be this way. Maybe there is a higher state of being. And we start to get to know compassion and love. The energy starts to flow up. And as this happens, we're no longer materialists. We're no longer so identified with our body. And all of a sudden, we can get in touch with the greater aspects of who we are. So we can get in touch with the energy that animates our body, our soul, our awareness, these eternal aspects of ourselves that never die and can never be harmed. And as we do, all of those attachments and aversions that we had to keep us safe, they fall away. And for the first time, there's the opportunity for inner peace to occur. Because we're no longer out of peace trying to keep what we're attached to for our survival and stay away from what we're averse to for our survival. And instead, we're having an experience of awareness. from that state of awareness, for the first time also, we get to experience something called equanimity. And what equanimity means is, if you look at that prefix, it starts with the letters E, Q, U, A, like the beginning of equal. And what it means is to see all things as equal. And the Buddha said, once you reach enlightenment, everything tastes like salt, which is a related statement. Equanimity is a state where you're at peace no matter what's going on in your external environment, which basically means you're present, you're in your heart, and you're in a state of creation, consistently, all the time. Imagine the quality of life. Imagine the speed of manifestation. Imagine the synchronicity in such a lifestyle, and in such a state of being. And so, that's our 2 cents on how attachment and aversion can become an obstacle to being fully present, and how once you become conscious of this conscious information through a process of conscious facilitation, that you can transcend the influence of attachment and aversion from your life gradually, and begin to be more and more present, and reclaim your energy away from stress and survival and back into creating all the wonderful things that you truly deserve. We hope you find this helpful, my wife and I. And please, if you'd like more videos like this, let us know by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving your comments. Have a great day.